What can you learn from your bad bosses? Sometimes throughout our career, we have many great bosses and mentors. But like most things in human nature, negative work experience teaches us the most. Imagine someone who goes to the gym. The muscles expand after enduring hard training. So does your skill at work. You can learn some great things from a terrible boss. Have you ever thought that working under a bad boss can have a positive effect? They can improve your management skills. You also have the experience to expand your skills to take up management positions in the future. What can you learn from your bad bosses? Here they are. Number 1. Micromanagement is a waste of time. One of the worst boss characteristics is micromanagement. They do it without realizing that they only waste their time. If they want to manage all, why do they recruit other people in the first place? So, if you work for a micromanager, what should you do? You are just trying to ignore the micromanagers and focus on the job you're hired for? In fact, in the most cases, this is the best thing that you can do. Remember, when you become a manager yourself, avoid micromanagement of others. Bosses who perform micromanagement tend to feel insecure about themselves and control they have. They are also likely to have trust issues. At the same time, the best boss will provide clear boundaries and expectations. They support and guide employees to complete any work that they need to complete. Number 2, learn to be patient. It is hard to listen to a bad boss, but if you can persist, you will become more patient and a better listener. Use this as a valuable lesson you will never get from a seminar. Even if the problem they cause is not a problem for you, you can still learn from their situation. If you are in a better position than most people with good bosses, then you can listen to what they are saying and use it as learning opportunity. That is why you need to stop being impatient. If you are patient, you will learn more. You need to know that a bad boss plays a crucial role in your career. Try to see this as an advantage. Number 3, learn to communicate. Sometimes bad bosses are not the ones who keep talking or ranting. They can also exist as a silent person. They stop speaking a word when everybody counts them the most. They fail to communicate about the target, work scope, time frame, and so on. A boss who rarely communicates misses one of the most prominent elements of leadership. Great leaders spend time listening and understanding others. They are also willing to ask questions and share with people what they need to know. If you have this kind of boss, remember to avoid the same mistakes. Remember, all relationships rely on good communication, not only at the workspace, but also in every corner of our life. Number 4, prepare better documentation. Another bad boss habit is that they love to shift the blame, even if it is in the work scope and you have done your job. In this case, you will learn to make detailed documentation. Thorough documentation will help you stand your ground. Just in case your boss blames you, those documents can become your weapon to warrant your job. Notably, when you bring this problem into upper management, the files also can help you to counter the blame by showing your boss accurate documentation. Number 5, acknowledge contribution from others. Bad bosses have easily seen by their egoistic character. They tend to feel that what they do is more important than others. If a leader does this constantly, it'll lower the entire team's mood and spirit. They will feel that no matter what their work is, it is still less important than what the boss does. It is normal if a leader or boss to have different tasks or responsibilities, but that is not the reason to underestimate their team. Imagine one day your team left you. They reached the point where they have enough. They can say goodbye to your leadership anytime they want to. When a boss is left alone, that's where they know that they can't go far without team support. Acknowledge contributions from others. Respect them and treat them with dignity. Number 6, avoid playing favorites. A bad boss is not always a mad person who gets irritated easily. Sometimes they appear as a nice person who is nice, but too nice with some employees or workers. They play favorites with one of the team members, for instance. If this happens, then it makes other employees or members feel jealous. It is a normal thing if you have some preferences, only you need to be careful when you do this. Do your best as you can to prevent your preferences interfere with your evaluations or judgment. Your favorite person must have a similar treatment just like everybody else. Number 7, can't take any critics. If you ever need horrible bosses, then you need them for this important reason. It may be one of the biggest and best lessons you learn from having a bad boss. Thanks to them, you will have a tough mentality to face any comment and critique. Critics are the one that makes you grow. Critics are the one way to test yourself and grow in the end. This is a big reason why you should never take your hat off when you're with a boss. You'll indeed get annoyed sometimes. As long as it makes you stronger, then you should be thankful to them. Remember that anything that can kill you only makes you stronger. Number 8. Learn how to manage conflicts. A bad boss sometimes can become the source of conflict. On the other hand, they also can become someone who avoids conflict. They just put their heads on the sand and hoped the conflict would end by itself. If you have any experience with this kind of a boss, you should take notes about conflict management. Conflict management is one skill that you must have if you want to become a leader. Conflict is a fact. You won't be able to avoid it or make it. Conflict will arise naturally. How you manage conflict will be the key to your organization's success. You must harness conflict to your advantage. Conflict is something that makes your organization grow. Number 9. Nurture your team is a must. Boss is a leader, and a leader must do what they expected to do, to lead. When they fail to lead, they are just a leader in the paper only. Their job description is director or manager, but on the field they just keep silent. A good leader knows when to get their hands dirty and when they just need to become an observer. If a boss only gives order and lets their teams go by themselves, they will lose integrity and direction. Their teams will be lost because no one guides them. Imagine you play on a football team. You have the best player from back to front. You only miss one person, a coach. Without a coach, there won't be a person who can direct your teams. Everybody needs someone who shoots from the edge of the field. A leader is someone who can see from another angle. After that, they show which direction should be taken. Number 10. Temper tantrum is a no. Maybe this is the most annoying attitude from a bad boss. They love to yell, shout, and even mock their team members. To make it worse, they do this in front of the departments who don't know anything about what's going on inside the office. Bosses who lose their temper only cultivate fear and uncertainty at the workplace. A bad boss who loves to practice temper tantrums won't be respected by their teams, even if they don't show it on the surface. Numbers won't lie. When a department has a high turnover rate, then a bad-tempered boss may be the one who makes the employee can't stand anymore. They will choose to leave the company as soon as possible. If you are stuck in this kind of a situation, you can do a simple test. One of the best ways is to speak to a colleague who is in a different department. He or she can tell the situation of the boss from his or her side, and then you can form a better picture. Have you ever got trapped with a bad boss in your workplace? What do you do when it happens? And you keep your work quality on the top? Do you find a better job immediately after you find out what kind of a monster your boss is? Or do you learn from your bad bosses? What kind of lessons can you take from them? Bad bosses are one of the toughest challenges that you might face at work. Nevertheless, there are lessons that you can learn from your bad bosses. Use that lesson to become the best version of a leader. If you have any experience with bad bosses, you can share it in the comment. Let's share your stories to help others who need it. I hope that you'll find this video to your valuable advantage, and it might help you in different ways. If you found this video informative, do like and subscribe, and don't forget to give comments and provide us with your valuable feedback. Plus, you want to suggest us a topic for the next video? Feel free to tell us. See you in the next video. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.